Welcome to Zeitgeist. I'm Zuri, here with Alistair, and we need to talk about Minneapolis.
Yeah, this one's heavy and complicated. Two people dead, federal agents everywhere, and honestly, both sides have points worth hearing.
So let's start with why federal agents are in Minneapolis in the first place, because it didn't come out of nowhere.
Right. There's actual context here.
Minnesota has been dealing with one of the largest fraud scandals in American history. A non-profit called Feeding Our Future was supposed to feed kids during the pandemic. Instead, prosecutors say over $1 billion was stolen. Fake meal sites, fake children, real money. The FBI found one site claiming to serve 6,000 meals a day that averaged 40 visitors.
$1 billion. How does that even happen?
59 people have been convicted so far, and this became a political flashpoint because it happened under Governor Walz. So when the Trump administration launched what they called Operation Metro Surge in December, they pointed to this fraud and said Minneapolis needs federal attention.
So the feds show up. How many agents are we talking?
About 2,000 ICE and Border Patrol officers. For context, the Minneapolis Police Department has around 600. And to be clear about who they say they're targeting, DHS has published names and crimes. Convicted murderers, child rapists, a man convicted of sodomizing children, someone with 24 criminal convictions. These aren't random immigration sweeps.
Okay, so serious criminals. But then, things went wrong.
January 7th. An ICE agent named Jonathan Ross shot and killed a 37-year-old woman named Renee Good. She was a U.S. citizen, mother of 3, sitting in her car.
What does each side say happened?
DHS says Good weaponized her vehicle. They say Agent Ross was hit by her car and hospitalized with internal bleeding. He was treated and released the same day, but the injury was real. Secretary Noem said the agent feared for his life.
And what does video show?
Multiple outlets analyzed footage. The New York Times found, quote, no indication that Ross was run over by Good's car. The video shows her SUV was stopped, then she reversed briefly, pulled forward, and began turning. An agent fired 3 shots, 1 through the windshield, 2 through her open window, as the car moved past. USA. Today's analysis said the vehicle, quote, appeared to be turning away from the officer who fired.
So we have the agent was injured. That's confirmed. But whether the car actually hit him is disputed.
Exactly. Body camera footage exists. DHS says it will support their account. It hasn't been publicly released.
Then there's a second shooting.
January 14th. And this one's different. Federal agents conducted a traffic stop. The suspect fled, crashed his car, ran on foot. During the struggle, 2 people came out of a nearby apartment and attacked the officer with a snow shovel and a broom handle. The suspect broke free and joined in. 3 people attacking 1 officer.
That's not disputed?
No. That one's documented. The agent shot the suspect in the leg, non-life-threatening. All 3 were arrested. This is important context because federal agents were facing real threats. Protesters also threw rocks, fireworks, and ice at officers.
So agents are being attacked. And then comes Alex Pretty.
January 25th. Alex Pretty was 37. An ICU nurse at the VA hospital. No criminal record. Colleagues described him as, quote, a good, kind person who lived to help. He researched ways to prevent veterans from dying of colon cancer.
And he had a legal gun.
Licensed to carry in Minnesota, a 9mm semi-automatic. That's not disputed. What is disputed is what he did with it.
What does DHS say?
Secretary Noem said Pretty approached officers with the handgun, attacked them, and violently resisted attempts to disarm him. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino said the gun, quote, became visible to officers. Stephen Miller, Trump's deputy chief of staff, called Pretty an assassin and a domestic terrorist on social media.
Strong words. What does video evidence show?
At least 5 bystanders recorded the encounter. ABC News and CNN verified the footage. The videos show Pretty holding his phone, recording federal agents making an arrest nearby. An officer pushed a civilian toward him. Pretty appeared to intervene. The officer pepper-sprayed him and pulled him into the street. Multiple agents tackled him.
And his gun?
In the footage, an agent appears to emerge from the group holding what looks like Pretty's gun. Then, within seconds, 10 shots are fired in less than 5 seconds. A local attorney reviewing the evidence said the firearm, quote, was removed from Mr. Pretty prior to the shots being fired. The videos don't show him drawing or brandishing the weapon at any point.
So they say he attacked with a gun. Video shows his hands on a phone.
And again, body camera footage exists. DHS says it will support their account. We haven't seen it. There's also context that cuts both ways. Pretty had a confrontation with federal agents about a week earlier. He saw them chasing a family, intervened, shouted at them, blew a whistle. Agents tackled him and he suffered a broken rib. DHS had been collecting information on protesters, and Pretty was on their radar.
So he wasn't a random bystander to them.
No. Whether that's relevant or concerning depends on your perspective.
Here's what surprised me. The political reaction isn't what you'd expect.
This is where it gets interesting. Second Amendment groups are furious. Not at Pretty. At the administration. Legal experts who usually align with conservative positions are saying, wait, you can't justify shooting a lawful gun owner just because he was armed. A University of Minnesota law professor pointed out the contradiction. The administration fights state laws that regulate firearms, then uses legal gun ownership to justify deadly force.
And Republicans in Congress?
Some are calling for deeper investigations. Senators Tillis, Collins, Murkowski, House Homeland Security Chairman Garbarino. These aren't Democrats. They're asking hard questions about federal tactics.
What about Trump himself?
He backed away from the assassin language. Said he doesn't believe Pretty was an assassin. The White House press secretary dodged questions about whether Stephen Miller would apologize.
So where does this stand now?
Commander Bovino, who suggested Pretty intended to, quote, massacre federal agents, is leaving Minneapolis. Border Patrol is reducing its presence. A federal judge issued a restraining order saying agents can't pepper spray or detain peaceful protesters. And the ICE chief has been ordered to appear in court under threat of contempt.
But the body camera footage still hasn't been released.
Not yet. DHS says it exists and will vindicate their agents. Critics say if that were true, they'd have released it already. Until we see it, we have two very different stories, and 2 people are dead.
Both can be true at once. Agents can be facing real threats, and individual shootings can raise serious questions.
That's exactly right. Federal agents have been attacked with shovels. They've had rocks and fireworks thrown at them. They're arresting people convicted of terrible crimes. And separately, there are legitimate questions about whether deadly force was justified in these specific cases. Those aren't contradictory positions.
This story isn't over.
Not even close. We'll update you when that body camera footage drops. That's going to answer a lot of questions.
Subscribe so you don't miss it. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. This is Zeitgeist.